Hey everybody, this is Dawn from Southpaw Bushcraft, and I'm getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. On a hike right now. It's late Friday afternoon, and I came down here to try and do the other part of my cattail videos, but I thought there'd be some down here. And in the spot where I am, there isn't any, so I'm going to walk a little further down the trail. I don't know if you guys recognize this spot. I'll walk up here a little further. I'm also looking for some morel mushrooms while I'm in here. And some other wild edibles. But holy man, are the mosquitoes bad. So far, the only thing I'm seeing that I recognize immediately in this spot for a wild edible is the plantain. Which I covered on one of my videos the other day. Which I could take home with me to rub on all the millions of mosquito bites I'm gonna have. Oops. For those of you that may not recognize this spot, this is where I brought Jessie when... Sorry, I had to pause for a minute. I thought I heard a deer coming. There's little... Ooh. Something hopping right past me. What is that? A little baby something. Hang on. Chipmunk. Where'd you go? Oh, there he went. Right up the hill here. Anyway, he almost ran right over my foot and then went up the side of the hill. Anyway, for those of you that don't know, I brought Jessie down here. Had some pretty cool time with her, watching the suckers spawn. And in spring, earlier this spring, of course it's still spring, but there's little deer tracks all over in here, like young deer. Here's a trail where they obviously come down here to the water. And right here's where we sat and had a cookout and made our lunch. All kinds of plants are on here, but there should be trout in here now. Water's kind of low though. There's a nice deep hole right here. It gets pretty deep going up that way. Well, I'm back over here by the front entrance, and I found this nice young cattail patch, and you can hear the highway, but I'm not actually close to the highway. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to gather some of the stalks. Now what you do is you just reach down here and pull. See? And you pull them up like that, and then I'll show you what you do with them next. So I'm going to go ahead and just gather some of these. and I'll get right back to you. I'm going to use my new little ferro rod I made. Okay everybody, we're back at home with our cattails that we picked, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to harvest them. Got the fire going in the background to cook them, so stay tuned. Okay, first thing we're going to want to do, let me turn it around this way. So we have to go ahead and take this, well, we still have the whole cattail, so we're going to trim these off to about here. So let me get my knife out here. My trusty Mora Pro Series. I'm going to go ahead and cut these off about here, I think. Oh, there goes my phone spinning away. I gotta tighten this up on the tripod. I'll be right back. Okay, I went ahead and I cut all those off. Now the next thing we want to do is, just like a scallion onion, peel off the outside layer so you have a nice clean bulb on the end, or nice clean end, and nice clean, you know, sterile shaft all, or stalk all the way up. So let's go ahead and do that. Now I like to take the outside 2 layers off. See? Now it's nice and clean all the way up and all the way around. And we're going to go ahead and do that with all of them. Okay, there we go. One of them I opened it up and it was icky inside, so I tossed it. So we got these 4. I'm going to go ahead and put them on the fire. There we go. Now those will not take very long to roast on there. I just want to show you, I brought my stuff out because I'm also going to be frying some walleye that we caught right out there. You can't see it. There it is, the water. Well, you caught out there, and in Wisconsin here, Friday night fish fries are all the rage. They have been since, I don't know, since before I was even born. So my plan was I was gonna have cattails, and I was gonna have the milkweed stalks that taste like asparagus, and my fish fry, and that was going to be my dinner, but it didn't turn out with the milkweed. They were bad. So all I got for my vegetable is my 4 cattail stalks. Let me get the spatula. I mean the tongs. But you can also steam these. And I just wanted to show you, I have the Ollie Camp cook set pot here, the big one, and I found this basket at a secondhand store, and it fits perfect in there. So the other thing I could have done is boiled some water in there, and then put the cattail stalks in that, and then put the lid on that I'm going to use for a frying pan. Put the lid on that, and I could have steamed my cattail stalks in that. So you can steam them, you can fry them, you can boil them, and you can eat them raw. So those are all the different ways that you can eat these. But I decided to grill them because I've never grilled them before and I wanted to try them that way. I've eaten them raw, which you'll see in another part of this video. When I was out at my mom's the other day, I ate some raw with my brother who thought they were cucumbers. So I had to laugh. My brother's cutting grass out here for Mom, and he came by and he took a big old bite out of my cattail here, and he goes, "Ooh, cucumber." And of course I took a bite, and it does taste, the white part here does taste like, have a bit of a raw cucumber taste. It's actually really good. Anyway, I'll show you that in a bit. I'm going to go ahead and pause this so I can get my pan on for my fish. There we go, got the pan on, getting the oil nice and hot for my fish. I'm going to roll these a little bit. Looks like they're just about done. I'm going to put them off here to the edge and go ahead and get my fish ready. I'll be right with you. Got the walleye in the pan, frying away. Let's go over here and give these cattails a try. Let's give them a bite. They're pretty good. I have to say, cooked, they have more of a vegetable taste. Like sorry for talking with my mouth out. I pulled all the innards out of it. Like an asparagus. And raw, they taste more like a cucumber, or look at that. Ooh. Ow, it's hot. Hang on a minute, let me get this flipped. There we go. Look at how flaky that is. Boy, that's gonna be good. Let me get it back on the fire, it's not quite done. Anyway, cooked, it's got more of like an asparagus kind of flavor, but not really asparagus. I guess just that type of rooty vegetable. But raw, it tastes more like a cucumber or a celery. It's interesting. You know, like I want to put butter on it cooked, but raw, I just want to toss it in my salad or eat it. Just eat it plain by itself, you know? Let me try it again. Oh, this one's really tender. Yeah, oh, that's really good. Really good, guys. Nice, the outside husk on this one's tough, but this inner part, holy cow, is that good. Really tender. Oops, almost went in my frying pan. I just threw the outer husk apart. That's kind of tough from being cooked. Last one. This one you can eat the whole thing, it's so tender. Yep, I would definitely cook those. Put a little butter. If you don't have butter, brush them with a little olive oil. Put a little salt on them. Maybe a little pepper. They are really good. Really good, guys. Now, speaking of really good. I think my walleye is done. Look at that. Friday night fish fry, people, Wisconsin style. Got the fish, no potatoes. I was gonna do the like I said, oh yeah, nice and flaky, nice and brown. I was gonna do the cattails and milkweed, but the milkweed was no good. I did do the cattails. Now it's time to eat the fish. So I'm gonna let you go. This is a long video, but I hope everybody enjoys it. Take care. Get your grill on, get out, do some outdoor cooking. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Hey everybody, this is Dawn from Southpaw Bushcraft. I'm down here by an area that's common for a plant I'm looking for. In fact, here's one right here. This is the next plant in my wild edible series. This is the milkweed plant. One of the things about the milkweed plant is that the stems of it taste like wild asparagus. Now, I have never eaten them before, so this year I'm going to try them for the first time. Now, I am very familiar with the milkweed plant. I've known this plant since I was a little kid, because when I was a kid, we couldn't wait till spring when the milkweed plants came up and they'd get their puffy pods on them, because the monarch caterpillars, those big fat green caterpillars, would come and they'd be eating on the leaves, and we would collect them and put them in a shoebox and watch them turn into monarch butterflies. So I am absolutely positively sure when it comes to milkweed plants. Now, the thing you have to be careful with is milkweed plants. I'm going to pull one of these leaves off so you can see. They secrete a white, turn it so it's focusing behind. 1 second here. Put it on my... See that white gluey substance? That white gluey substance that comes out of the stalk and the leaves on these. Now you can see it better on here. That white gluey substance here that comes out, that is toxic. And it comes out of the stem that you're going to eat. What happens is when you boil this stem, it gets rid of that and it's no longer toxic. So you have to boil these stems before you eat them. That's why I've never eaten them before, because that freaks me out a little bit. But I think I'm going to go ahead and gather some, and I'm going to take them home and read about how long you got to boil them and so on. I'm absolutely positive, though, that I know this plant and I know that's what it is. I also know that it's absolutely okay to eat them if you boil them. But I want you guys to go out and read about them yourself and do your own research before you consume any of these plants. So, how do you identify a milkweed plant? Well, since I'm going to gather some, I'll cut this one and we'll take it along and I'll show you. One of the biggest things, like I said, is that white, milky stuff that secretes out of the stems and the leaves. That in itself is a good way to tell. The leaves have, it's getting windy out here now, it's blowing around. The leaves have long, narrow leaves. They have that reddish pink color vein down the middle. They're very soft, almost fuzzy, the leaves. And the leaves can get quite large. This plant is actually a young plant. They get quite large. This one's probably, I don't know, maybe 20 inches long, 24 inches long, but they can grow several feet tall. This plant it's just starting to open up inside. Just give me a second here. It's just starting to flower. And this flower will turn into those big pods I was telling you about it. And the pods get fairly large. I would say several inches long and at least an inch or two in diameter. And then inside those pods you get a long, hairy, fibrous material and the seeds. And that's how they repollinate themselves. You can see now, you can really start to see the white gluey substance that's inside of these. Again, that is toxic. You can't just peel these leaves off and eat them. Everything, the stem, like I said, it tastes like asparagus, has to be boiled first. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to collect some of these, and then I'm going to take them home and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with them. So stay tuned. Okay, while the fire is roaring away over there and I'm waiting for the the wood to burn down into coals for dinner, I want to go over this milkweed that we harvested. I had talked about how you have to boil it, so it's not toxic, to get the white milky substance out and all that. Okay, well, that is true. And I was going to do that, but I got it home and I saw that critters and bugs and stuff were on these, and I didn't see that when I harvested them. So you can see here, I'm not going to cook these because of that. I don't know. So it's important before you consume them, to check them all over, which I always do at home before I eat anything anyway. Now this one is the first one I picked, and this one's fine all the way around. So I could probably make just this one, but the leaves are chewed up on this one. So what I'm going to do is just wait until I find another patch one day down the road, and I'll cook them, and I'll cook them for you then. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and tell you guys how to cook these and how to eat them. I don't know, maybe I will make this one. Boil them, the stems, cut it up, into, I don't know, however big you want your pieces. I was going to put mine in my Stanley cook set. So I was going to cut it in pieces to fit in there. One place, one book says boil it 10 minutes. Another book says boil it 20 minutes. To be honest, my plan was to boil it 20 to 30 minutes just to be safe. I have also read one of the books that I use that's a very, very reliable source. It's called The Forager's Harvest. That's the name of the book. He says you don't have to boil them at all, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, these leaves, when they're young, are also edible. But I was after the stalk today because I was told it tastes like asparagus, and my wild asparagus hunt failed when I found them overgrown and out of season already. So, the other thing you can eat off the milkweed plant, now this one it isn't developed yet, but these buds get rather large and they flower. And when they flower into nice big heads. And you can dip those in batter and deep fry them like a tempura batter. And deep fry them, and they are outstanding. And they're sweet, which is really cool. They're like a sweet treat. So get out, you guys. Don't be afraid to eat this plant. Just make sure you know what it is. Make sure you know the identifying factors. Long oval-shaped leaves. They're soft to the touch. They are almost fuzzy. They're oblong-shaped. You've got the white milky substance that comes out when you take off a leaf or cut the stem. You've got the flowers on top that, you know, when you find them now, they might be little pink and white flowers. That's what they look like when they're opened. Get out and try them. Boil your stems and your leaves if you're afraid. Boil them for 25 minutes or even a half hour. Give them a try. Cut the flowers off the top. Dip them in tempura batter. They're supposed to have a sweet honey flavor. I'm definitely going to try that. Of course, these aren't ready yet for that. I was after the stems today. Get out and try them. Try your milkweed plant and let me know what you think. It's unfortunate that these were no good today, that we couldn't do that. So I will find a patch where they're good, and I will do an updated video and we'll try it. So stay tuned. I'm also doing a video tonight on the cattail stalks. I gathered those as well.